Hello and welcome everybody to the second installment in the Serene Retreat as part of Paris Squared, based on the modern age system by Green Ronin. Information on this system on their website. You have a problem.
Yes.
You have been tasked with finding out what's happening in the Serene Retreat, and no more information than that. Just go and find out what's going on. The Serene Retreat, we're not going to repeat what it is. For those of you who don't know, please revisit number 1. Session number 1. And Leo has vanished into thin air. He's gone. You're pretty sure that he didn't just scamper, because he wouldn't, because he's after all tasked with making sure that you guys are safe. He's your bodyguard. You have rung Anlor, who was like, well, what do you mean he's gone? And you're like, well, he's gone. He's no longer here. And she has said she is going to come over, and it's going to take her about 2 hours to get there.
Mm-hmm.
It is the morning. It's round about, did we say 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning? Because you were going to take, because your cover story is that you're going to film a commercial video kind of documentary about this estate or gated community. And you were going to start filming. And you were in the playground trying to film the houses. And what you have noticed is that there are cameras everywhere, surveillance cameras. There are several surveillance cameras also in the playground, and they are also motion activated. So when you walk around, they follow you. Mm-hmm. You've been able to tap into your own CCTV for the house that you're staying in. This was also told to you by the real estate agent, that this is the idea, that everybody can basically see their own feed, but you don't know where the feed for the playground is going. And you were standing there, and you were looking at the houses, and Celeste was filming them, and you are replaying the footage. And you notice that there's kind of like glitches, and it's kind of out of focus. There's something weird. And then you turn around and Leo is gone.
It's gone, yeah.
So you have informed Anne-Laure. Anne-Laure is on her way. What are you doing?
I think she already arrived last time, didn't she?
Oh, yes, you're right. She already arrived.
I think we were already at the playground. We had a scoop around. We couldn't see anything, and we were on the way now back to the house, because Celeste said that she was able to get the information needed to get to the cameras on the playground.
She was going to try, somehow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Anne-Laure is trying to keep a cool head, but she's worried, obviously, as we all are. And we will go back to the house. And the question is Lydia by now? She should be probably there.
Yeah.
So at least Amelie would have a short discussion with Anne-Laure and Celeste if we should inform Lydia that she keeps eyes and ears open, because she should be able to get to all the foot. Honestly, shouldn't she be able to get access to the footage officially?
Probably.
Shouldn't we go through her?
We can try.
Or do you want to try first, Celeste, if you can get access? It would be easier if we can snoop in peace and quiet.
We will try.
Lydia's not going anywhere. She just started the workday. So let's go to our house and let's see.
What Celeste is able to do is she's able to get the live feed, but she cannot actually see if there are any recordings. She can tap into it, yes, but she can't kind of access any recordings that might be there.
Question is, Celeste, can you have a recording running from now on in parallel that we can record what is happening on a camera?
11, 14, 16, 17, yes.
Okay.
So shall we go and... No, it's a very good point. Anne-Laure says, I would like to go to his bedroom and see did he take his weapons.
Sure. Let me show you where his room is. I will show her upstairs and we'll show her which room Leo has.
So she opens the door and she leaves it open as she walks in. Do you take a look?
Probably, because Amelie is curious.
Okay, so basically it's... he did travel with a suitcase this time round, and it's a black suitcase, probably Samsonite, one of those hard cases. And he is super meticulous. He opened the suitcase, took everything out, put it into the wardrobe, closed the suitcase, stashed it underneath his bed. So she basically opens the wardrobe and there's like his clothes hanging from hooks and it's all super orderly. He brought 2 pairs of shoes plus the ones that he was wearing when he vanished. They're kind of like neatly aligned, and she says Then she kneels down, she pulls out the suitcase, and in the suitcase she finds his sidearm and the ammunition. She says, well, great, he's not armed.
Well, he is kind of a weapon in itself.
She raises an eyebrow.
I wouldn't want to fight him without weapons.
That is true, but we don't know where he is nor what is going on, so it could be. Anyway, she basically pulls back the sled and she looks in and she says, okay, and then she basically loads it and puts it in her at the back of her trousers underneath her shirt, and she's just in case. I'll have 2.
Well, then let's visit Lydia and see what she can help us with. And how she reacts by people disappearing.
All right. Do you want me to come with? Or do you want to go on your own?
Maybe it will be less scary for her if it's just us 2 girls that she knows.
All right. So I will actually stay here and watch the playground from here.
Well, you have the camera.
And I've also got these, and she basically, she brought a suitcase as well, which is downstairs in the hall. She opens it, she takes out binoculars.
We also have one room in case you want to get comfy, and we still have coffee there if you want to have a coffee, and the fridge is full for breakfast if you want to.
Thank you. I'll definitely go for the fridge and for the coffee, and I'll see what I can see if I keep looking.
Okay.
Then, and if he does come back, and if it turns out that he just went for a romp in the woods, I'll have words.
I think we all would have still. Sadly, it would be the best option, to be honest, but it's the most unlikely option.
It's not him. I agree.
No. So, Celeste, let's see what Lydia is saying, and I hope, darn it, that they are recording something. If they are not recording, if they are only doing live feeds, then we are in problem.
So you go to Lydia's house.
Yep.
The door is closed, but it just says, come in, please. Basically, there's a sign. We're open.
Amelie will still knock, but then directly open the door.
Basically,
Lydia?
they have changed the way the lock works, so there's a handle on both sides.
Okay.
Probably just for the time being. They're going to switch it out when the house is being sold, you assume. So you can press down and then the door opens inward.
I think with stepping in, not even really looking, Amelie would be calling out for Lydia.
Yes, in here. And you can see that, you know, like it's the same type of house. So basically there's this like, you go in, there's this corridor that turns left to the kitchen, then there's another door, and that leads into what you presume, if it's in any way, shape or form like your house, there's going to be the large dining room, living room, open plan thing. So do you open the second door?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it is the way you thought it was going to be. You can see behind her the large patio door opening up into the yard. And instead of the fully furnished living room cum dining room that you are used to, it's one large desk. There's a computer on it. There are 3 chairs in front of it, and then there's also kind of like a sideboard where she has like, you know, those little bottles of orange juice and apple juice, you know, so that she can offer something for people to feed people refreshments. And there's a little fridge as well, so probably to keep the stuff cool. Okay. Oh, is everything all right?
No, it's not.
Why? What happened? Is something wrong with the house?
No, but Leo got kidnapped, disappeared, vanished within a blink of an eye, literally. Do you have any chance on accessing the recording of the playground cameras?
Excuse me. Your friend was kidnapped in the playground.
We suspect so, because he was there a second.
Well, shouldn't we call the police then?
Could we please first have a look at the camera?
Make a communication check.
Okay. Double 6 and a 5. And 6 also on the stunt die. So,
yeah, that's...
oh god, that's a lot.
That's at least 17 there already, plus whatever you have in communication.
Plus 3 in communication.
So 20. Okay.
Yeah, and
a 6 on the stunt die. Okay.
We don't want to inform the police just without any real idea what happened.
There is something going on, and it's not the fact that he has been kidnapped. She seems to be fine with that, but she doesn't seem to want anyone to look at the footage, and it's almost like she forgot that there may be a recording.
Emily will walk towards her. There's no distance now between them. Now. Please.
I honestly don't really know how the system works.
Don't lie to me. Come on. We know people disappeared here. We heard a lot of stories. We read upon this place before we started filming. We know people disappear here. We just hope that we would be safe.
What is that tone of voice that you're taking with me?
My friend disappeared on a property you are responsible for. You know that you will be the first one who has to talk to the police. You are the one who is responsible for this here. You are the one having access to the cameras. And you have been here for quite a while now. And you were responsible for refurnishing everything here. So please don't make it difficult.
Or
Let us have a look at the camera.
What are you planning on doing? Take the stuff by force?
Celeste, would you mind grabbing Anne-Laure, please?
Celeste looks at you and then at Lydia, and she's like, "Are you sure you'll be okay on your own?"
We don't have the time, and she will not dare to do anything.
All right,
just
so
stay
basically,
there and wait.
Celeste leaves quickly. You can hear her running outside, and then a good 5 minutes later, she and Anne-Laure are back. Anne-Laure has changed. She was wearing normal jeans and a shirt. Now she's in full combat gear. She must have changed in the meantime, and she's carrying openly.
Mm-hmm.
And she has the look that you remember the first time you saw her, this completely impassive, don't mess with me or else you're dead look. And she's basically walks in behind Celeste, closes the door, leans against it, folds her arms and says, "Is there a problem, Mademoiselle Dubois?"
Well, Lydia, last chance.
Make a communication check, please.
Why is there not something like intimidation? There's nothing like that. Please use it. Sadly, why is there no intimidation in all of this? Yes. That is sadly no stun die, but that is an 11, 14, that's an 18.
Okay, and you do get +2 for simply unlock standing there. Yeah, plus unlock. That's the unlock bonus. And she's like, all right. But when I said I didn't know how the system worked, I wasn't lying.
We just need access. Just unlock the computer that we can access. The rest we can do on our own.
All right, it's upstairs.
Yeah,
she basically says, all right, we need to go out into the hallway again and take the stairs upstairs.
No, you go first. Did she go first? Looking over to Anne-Laure. Anne-Laure, do you want to go first? Just to double check.
Anne-Laure pulls out her gun and says, I'll go upstairs and check. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, call the police.
We will follow with a low distance. Upstairs, which room? There are multiple rooms there.
It's the master bedroom.
Okay.
So Anne-Laure goes upstairs and you can hear this, open the door quickly, stepping in, stepping out again. Open the door quickly, stepping in, stepping out again. And then she says, all clear. Good. And I found the equipment.
Then, Miss Bono, after you.
She goes upstairs. She leads you into the master bedroom, which is the room that Anne-Laure is now standing in.
Just on the computer. The rest we can do.
See, she sits down at a terminal. It's really, I mean, it's almost like a little blade server that's standing there. And she unlocks the computer and then she says, I really, like I said, when I said I didn't know how this worked, I wasn't lying. It's always running, and I'm told that it's recording the footage. And apparently, it's on a 72-hour schedule. So every 72 hours, the previous 72 hours get erased because of, storage issues.
Please sit down. I will point her towards the bed.
Okay, on a 9, 11, 13, just about. Celeste sits there and she says, all right, this isn't just a recording. These are encrypted. Heavily so. This is going to take me a while. But what I will do is I will just stop the cycle so nothing will be erased.
That would be good. Just make sure that you're not erasing what is there.
No, I'm not erasing anything. I'm just going to make a backup of everything that's there. And she takes out a portable hard drive, like one of the little ones. She plugs it in using a USB connector and starts copying files. And she says, this is going to take a while. While this is copying, I'm going to try and see if I can crack the files.
There's no way that through the software you can just view what was recorded. There must be a way to get access to it.
And she points to the screen and she says, "Look," and she types a couple of things, a couple of commands, and then up come like what looks like 20 little windows, and she says, this is the live feed from about 20 cameras. There is 65 cameras in total. I can cycle through them and I can tell you exactly what's happening at the moment. But everything that is recorded is being encrypted as it's being recorded. I have to decrypt it first. Okay. 12, 14, 16. This is going to take me about 2 hours.
Well, then we will have a way together. And Amelie will just lean against whatever is there. Maybe I don't know. Probably the door frame.
So there's Anne-Laure leaning against one side of the door frame, you're leaning against the other. Lydia is standing there kind of going, what the hell?
If there's a closet, I would lean against a closet, I think. And Lydia will sit on the bed and we will patiently wait.
And then at some point, Celeste says, I'm actually quite thirsty. Could somebody get me a glass of water, please? I'm pretty sure. And then Lydia is like, yeah, there's water downstairs in the fridge. I'll get it.
No, please stay seated. Do you want something?
No.
Andor, do you want something?
If they've got water, I'll take some. Maybe you should get some too. Stay hydrated.
Amelie will go downstairs and she will grab 4 waters. And will put one down for Celeste. She will hand over one to Lydia. And one to Anne-Laure and one for myself. And then we will go on waiting.
So you wait. And yeah.
I think while we wait, Amelie will look over to Lydia. You're sure you have no idea what is happening here? And why there's this high security?
I don't know. We took over the portfolio 2 years ago and we're trying to sell this place. I told you we refurbished everything.
I believe that you refurbished everything.
I have no idea. Probably, I mean, seriously, you said your friend was kidnapped. Don't you think that, didn't you hear anything?
No.
Didn't you see anything?
If we would have heard or seen anything, we would have known what's happening. Again, also you must have known by research and taking over that people disappeared. And you didn't even give it a thought for a second? If this is a property you really want to be responsible for?
It is a property. Sometimes people move out. I have no idea what happened.
It's not moving out. They vanished.
That's what you say. Do you really think I have the time to sit down and research the people who lived there?
I would like to... I am surprised that you are not researching property before getting it and selling it. Because it must be so weird that such a property wasn't working before and the houses weren't in a bad condition.
Well, I mean, this is what we did. We brought in an environmental expert to see was there any emissions going on, radon, you name it. We checked. There's nothing. The air is fine. We did exhaustive research. We've got an environmental agency, French environmental agency, a certificate saying that the air is fine, the soil is fine, there is nothing there. We did our due diligence. We don't know why people left.
Again, you just needed to talk to people outside
like who?
This. The people
Do you really think I have time for this?
Well, you should have, because now you're 2 feet in a big problem. And again, you are responsible for all of this.
I'm not responsible for anything.
Well, it's your land.
Yes, and I'm going to sell it.
Well, it's not sold yet at the moment. It's your land.
What are you trying to? Are you trying to torpedo what we're doing here? Are you trying to prevent me from selling this? Because I will talk to your superior and I will demand a different film crew to come out.
I will go 2 steps towards her. It's not about selling.
Yes,
again,
it is.
People are missing.
That's what you say.
Property.
That's what you say. For all I know, your boyfriend just decided to go somewhere else because maybe you're not so hot after all.
I will step forward. She will get a slap through the face. Shut up. Just sit there, quiet.
Okay. Anne-Laure was like,
we can also tie you up if you want to.
Dan takes out the cable binders. May I?
Because either you are stupid or you are trying to keep us dumb. I'm still not sure if you're lying to our face or if you're really that naive in this business. It's really quite astonishing. But well, just sit.
Law is nodding at you and kind of like really appreciatively kind of going, okay, that's the girl you want to party with when shit is going down.
Amelie's angry. Because honestly, Amelie does not believe a single word that lady is saying. She definitely thinks it's a show. Because it's a lot of money. You don't buy a property and ask questions why on earth it did not sell before, because it's a high risk thing. And it's not always environment. It might be surrounding, it might be anything else. And not doing that kind of due diligence either is sloppy, then she deserves all the hate, or she knew and she ignored it because she just saw the, I wanted to say dollar signs, no euro signs.
So time passes. While you're having this debate, Celeste is typing away. She's not even participating in the conversation. Probably you're not even sure if she's getting most of it because she's really being very focused.
Yeah.
And then after a while she's like, I think I got in. Yes, I did. Okay, coming up, this is...
Wait. Looking over to Unlaw. Maybe we should tie her up, just that we can look in peace and quiet.
Unlaw ties up Lydia.
Yeah.
And she's having way too much fun, it seems. She uses cable binders. Yeah.
Don't forget the feet. We don't want to run off.
She does that too, and she says, I doubt that you would do a runner, but you're right. And then
we all probably are next to Celeste, just looking at what she is seeing then.
So basically, she says, okay, there are 6 cameras in all in the playground. 2 of which were firmly trimmed on us, obviously, because we were moving when we were talking. And then there are 2 that are basically... It seems like stationary, probably because they are further away from the actual playground. So basically, since there was a lot of movement going on where they were, and we are all in focus, they don't move at all. And these 2 are trained on Leo and watch. And you see Leo. So she's basically arranged 6 images on the screen next to each other. So you see yourself and Celeste filming, then, looking at the footage, and Celeste, and there is no sound. So it's kind of eerily quiet.
Yeah.
Because you can see the whole conversation between you and Celeste, where Celeste is basically telling you, okay, there's something wrong with the camera, the footage is weird, there's glitches. But she goes back further where she's actually doing the filming. And you're not moving and she's not moving, and you're both facing away from the playground, and you look at Leo, and Leo is basically doing the Leo thing. He is constantly looking around. He isn't walking around. He is just basically moving his head, taking in his surroundings because he's being the bodyguard. And then all of a sudden there's a shadow, as if somebody is stepping close to him but still out of frame, tall, like a tall body, humanoid, and then Leo reacts to whatever it is that he sees out of frame. Then the camera glitches and Leo's gone, and the camera goes and focuses on on the slide, because that's now the nearest thing, and since it's not moving, the camera has stopped moving. It's just basically facing the slide, and that's it. And the other 2 cameras that basically have like a wide angle view of the whole playground. So she basically plays back the whole sequence and she says, pay attention to these two. And you see everybody in these two frames, yourself, Celeste and Leo. Then suddenly these two cut out completely and go black and don't come on again until after you see in the smaller frame that Leo has vanished. So unfortunately, whatever was there should have been captured on these wide angle cameras, but it wasn't because they cut out.
So whatever is there is able to interfere with the camera feed. Which might explain why I saw a glitchy picture as well.
Unless, yes, because one could argue maybe she, and she points to Lydia, turned off the two cameras when it was happening and then turned them back on again. But that wouldn't explain why our camera that's not connected to anything glitched. It's more like something is interfering with...
Well, static, right? It's still a signal being sent. Because it might be that the camera saw it, but it didn't transfer the feed.
And it affected our camera as well. That's really weird. Unfortunately, we don't know if we would have had mobile reception while this was happening. There is no way to go back and see if the signal went down.
We know that when we call his phone, it's directly going to mailbox, right?
Voicemail, yeah.
Yeah. I think
and you know one thing, that his mobile is only ever on vibrate and always on silent, because obviously if he's working, it might be very unfortunate if somebody were to ring him and the signal would go off, but he will still know that he's going to get a phone call because it vibrates. So and the phone is not anywhere to be found.
I think Amelie will very slowly turn towards Lydia. In a not very sympathetic looking way. She has a very stern look on her face. Last chance. You have regular glitches in the camera feed. Something is happening here, and someone must have caught it.
To be quite honest, I never watched the camera feed because nothing ever happens. We have a security detail coming in every hour between 8 and or 2100 hours and 8 in the morning. So
it happened during daytime. It was not in the night.
Yeah, but what do you expect me to do? I mean, sit up here and watch the feed? Like she said, there's 65 cameras. I would have a lot to do. Actually, I'm trying to sell this property, not watching TV.
Can I do one more communication to see or perception? I'm not sure. Just it's basically the D&D inside check that I'm trying to do.
That's communication.
Okay.
Unless do you have any specialties in perception?
I have observation seeing. That doesn't help. It's an eye for detail, but that's my re-roll if I mess up. That's all I have.
Then it's communication.
Then we have, that's 10, 13, 16? No stunt die.
That's a good roll. So, sorry, what was the question? What were you trying to find out? If she's lying?
If she's lying, or if she's really honest. Well, seem to be.
She is not being honest, but let's put it this way. If this was a polygraph, she would be having kind of like weird readings, but it could also be because the whole situation is weird. There are 3 people there. She's been handcuffed and almost hogtied. She can't get away. There's a woman standing there who's heavily armed. So it could be that she's simply since she can't do the flight thing, she's now doing the fight thing. So she's definitely, there's something going on, but you don't know if it's really lying about this thing. If that makes sense.
It does make sense. Well, should we do another round where Leo disappeared?
You're asking who? Are you asking her, or who are you talking
I'm
to?
asking
just generally.
basically Anne-Laure and Celeste. And this time we take her with us.
Mm-hmm.
Pointing towards Lydia.
Yeah, I think we should. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think we should. Well then, Princess, and Anne-Laure removes the shackles, as it were, so that Lydia can walk. And she holds her tight on her upper arm and says, "You and I are going to go downstairs first, and the other two will follow. And I'm telling you, if you try anything stupid, I'm going to shoot you."
Celeste and Amelie will follow a few steps behind those two. What Amelie wants to see is if we get close to that place, if Lydia's getting nervous.
Mm-hmm. Okay, in that case, it's the observation thing, because you're really looking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we walked down there towards the playground.
The playground. So you first of all make a perception looking around check.
Okay. That is a 19 with a 5 on the stunt die.
That's a really good. That's an excellent.
Today these dice are really.
Yeah, these dice are really good. What you do notice is all the cameras. All the cameras, as soon as you get close to them, train on you and Celeste, and they follow you. As far as they can move. Like, really, it's almost like you pass one lamppost and then basically walk out of frame of one pair of cameras, and the next one is already waiting. It's not that you walk towards them and they start. It's almost like they know you're coming and are already pointing towards you. And it's almost like a relay. Basically handing over the baton from one camera cluster to the next. Yep. It's almost like somebody is following you, using the cameras to trace your whole movement. And as you walk past your own house, the cameras there are now focusing on you as well. And you haven't really seen that, because so far they have been static, always watching the entry, so basically the entrance, and then the patio. But now you can see that these move too. You haven't seen that before, and they are following you. And it's almost like somebody's eyes are following you. And you walk towards the playground, and everything is already pointing towards you, seeing you approach.
Celeste, is this normal behavior of cameras? I know that there are motion triggered ones, but these ones can't be motion triggered.
No. That is somebody angling them and directing them towards us. This is not motion triggered, because these ones were pointing towards us even when we were still out of frame. And she's looking and she's pointing towards the ones on the playground, which should be.
Yeah, I think when we just get close to the playground, I think this discussion would happen latest at the house when the cameras are moving. Just. Give me a second. The cameras, are they all up high on posts, or are there some of them on lower where you can reach them without problems?
How tall are you again? You're not very tall, are you?
Not very tall.
The one
63.
No, okay, so the one outside your door and the one outside your patio door are mounted at the house itself. And you could probably get them if you were to stand on a short ladder. they're maybe 2 meters up. So you can't reach them quite,
Mm-hmm.
but possibly Anne-Laure could if she tried. She's quite tall. Because if you're 180, then, you know, your arm would be
Amelie will
about
go,
60 centimeters. Yeah.
guys, wait a second. And she will go inside. She will raid her suitcase for t-shirts and socks.
Okay.
And she will start with Anne-Laure's help to cover one camera after the other.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the ones on the, basically not the ones towards the playground, more on the street side, they can stay, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will not be able to see far what is happening on the playground, but everything that is facing more and following us towards the playground, she will make sure every camera is covered. Mm-hmm. And probably with a little smile in the camera first, and then she will just like, whoop. Because her first instinct was to destroy all of them, but she's like, this is expensive equipment. And the main thing is, hey, if it's physically blocked from remote, you can't do anything to get rid of a sock. That's put over them.
So essentially, last time, the previous day, Celeste hooked into the cameras in the playground, and she's able to receive the live feed on her mobile as well.
Yeah, so 1 or 2 we would leave.
Well, the ones in the playground you can't reach because they are very high up.
Okay.
They're like on poles, on masts. Like there are lampposts, and it's like at night, it is really well lit if people are outside. You've noticed this? The lights will go on, and as long as there's movement, the lights will stay on, because obviously you don't want people to not be able to sleep because somebody's around, because there's constant light. But you would also assume that after 10 o'clock people are told not to use the playground because it's going to light up. But it's also a security feature, because if somebody were to climb somehow the fence from the forest and would walk across the playground, the lights would go on immediately. But having said this, these are huge lampposts, and the cameras are very high up. Remember that Leo had to hoist Celeste onto his shoulders for her to be able to reach, because you didn't have a ladder.
Would be Anne-Laure, Celeste. Do we want to keep them running, or do we want to turn them off?
Celeste is looking at her mobile as you're saying this, and she says, guys, don't look. Can I ask you to come close? Don't turn around.
We will come close, sure. And I will make sure Anne-Laure is stepping next to us as well.
She's holding her camera, and she's holding her mobile, and on the screen you can see the feed. You see yourselves, and behind you, towards where the houses are, where you came from, there is a very tall, gangly figure in a suit with a white pale face coming towards you from behind. I'm not sure.
With a suit?
Wearing a suit. Says Celeste what this is. Also, I can't hear anything.
Do we feel anything, Celeste? Let's focus.
Okay. Make a willpower check. Oh, double 6s and a 6 and a 3 on the stunt die.
Oh god, I have a double 6 and a 5.
Okay, so she comes 12, in at 16...
17... a 19 and a 6 on a stunt die.
She comes in at a 19 and a 3 on a stunt die. Yes. You're absolutely feeling something. Anne-Laure says, wait a minute, and she takes out a compact mirror. And she looks and she holds it so that you can see, and there's nothing behind you. But you can still see it in the camera feed. What do you do?
Let me just write it down. But spider sense feels... I will call it spider sense because it's easiest. Amelie will hold on to...
It's coming closer and closer.
Anne-Laure and Celeste. Don't move. And she will turn around her head. She will hold on to the girls, but she will turn her head to look towards the figure. Let's see if it's still... if she can see it with bare eyes.
You see nothing. But you can still feel whatever it is that you feel, the spider sense tingling.
She will just call out. So we can see you. We are just here to find our friend. Please don't let us get into a fight. She will still look in the direction where it is, and she will just talk to Celeste. Is it still going, Celeste?
Yes. And it's coming ever closer, and you can feel that Celeste has the impulse, and she's fighting it, of not taking a step back. She's really trying to be rooted in place.
Anne-Laure, would you mind? Oh God. Amelie has never had a weapon in her hand. She would have no idea how to use it. Darn it. Squishy, non-fighting people.
Can you check your microphone, because you're actually being very choppy?
Better now?
Yeah.
Okay. Not sure. Didn't change anything. Not touching anything.
No, it's almost like, you know, how you sometimes have this, like, you know, being completely chopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be that the internet is choppy. I'm not sure. Or the
because
laptop.
Because your camera is fine, so that the picture was fine. So I'm not sure if it's the internet or if it's simply the heat.
It might be the heat that my laptop is fighting.
Again.
Although I have everything on that I can.
Let me just check something. Let me just check something on my side.
Let me see. No, it is working.
Okay, we will have to see. It could be my headset.
Okay. Yeah, we will have to see.
You will see. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
but
at
you were
least
saying,
for me, everything is up and running, and my internet looks, at least at the moment, stable.
You were saying basically.
I was complaining about Amelie being a squishy non-fighter.
Oh, and she's never had a weapon before.
Yeah, it doesn't help. Anne-Laure, do you think you can shoot them even though you can't see them?
I can try.
Come on, give it a try. We will still hold on to each other, but try.
She takes out the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay.
Whoops.
Yay, technology.
Okay.
Better?
We'll see. I don't know, because it can't be you. I mean, I don't see how this is possible. It could be that this is really my headset, which would be annoying, because I always thought that this was the better one. So basically, the issue now is that, of course, she would have to... She takes out the gun. She turns around. And Celeste does too, so that she can keep looking into onto the screen rather than the compact mirror. And she basically, okay, this is going to be tough now.
It will be tough, but she would be the only one who would be maybe able, just by instinct, to pull it off.
11, so I would say that she probably has a 3 in fighting. She's a 14. So she shoots, and the funny thing is that nothing happens. I mean, the shot goes off, but there is no impact, no blood, no nothing. It's just like, almost like the bullet vanishes into thin air. And also when you're watching what's happening, the figure doesn't, either she didn't hit, or the figure just doesn't care.
Okay. The question is, did it then hit like the grass or something? Can we see it hitting?
No, you can't see anything. It's almost like it maybe left this dimension. Who knows? What do? It's coming closer. And it's not even kind of like, this figure isn't in any rush. It's striding towards you purposefully, doesn't break stride even when it's being shot at, and it just keeps coming closer and closer, and it's getting bigger and bigger. This is a tall fellow.
I'm out of ideas, guys. Celeste, didn't you have like a... I know you can't turn it on and off. Can you put him back?
What?
Well, physical things are not helping, obviously. I have nothing supernatural at hand. Do you?
I don't think so. I can only find stuff.
But you moved something when we first met.
Yeah, but that was getting something to me. I don't want to bring him to me.
No vice versa thing? Push it away?
I don't think so. At this stage, Anne-Laure actually grabs both your hands and she says, "Ladies, now this is where we run."
I think Amelie would not run. She would grab Lydia and push her in front of us, like between that thing and us, because she should be able to see anything. Also looking at Lydia.
Lydia isn't looking at, she doesn't know what's going on because she didn't see anything. So you just basically push her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you look do you look at the camera?
Yeah.
At the camera feed. Okay, so the camera glitches. And then Lydia's gone. And then the camera comes back. And
He's
thing is
gone as well?
No.
He's still there.
Yeah, but he's coming. He's slowed down a little. And then Anne-Laure says, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm here to protect you." And she grabs you and she grabs Celeste and she says, "Run."
But if we run, we will not find out where they are.
At the moment, it's just important that we get out and then we regroup. Do you run?
I think Amelie would ask Celeste before we run. Screenshots. 1 or 2. Now.
She says, "I'm recording this."
Okay, then let's run.
And
although still screenshots, we know camera is a problem.
she basically takes screenshots
because I'm quite sure Celeste knows her phone. She knows how to quickly do a screenshot, and then
you run and now give me a dex check.
Gosh. Okay, now it stops. Well, no, it's okay. It's okay. That is a 12.
Okay.
No stunt die?
Yeah, no, she's got a 12 too, no stunt die for her. You are being pulled by Anne-Laure, who seems to have reached down inside of herself and basically unleashed some physical power that you probably didn't think she had, because she is actually pulling you along. So basically, you're both kind of like, almost falling down, but she basically keeps you upright. And the problem is where to run to, because you are enclosed by fences on 3 sides. On the 4th side, the guy or whatever this thing is coming. Where do you want to run? You have 2 ways. You can't cross the fence easily, but you could go to the generator house or you could go to the shed.
I think based on the plan, the shed, because from there we can try to circle around to get to the house.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you run to the south, so basically to your right, and towards the shed. And obviously now she's no longer looking at her phone, but she's basically taking her arms to her sides and making this running motion with her arms to give herself momentum. So Celeste, you don't know what is going on, if anything is happening behind you. You power to the shed, and then and Laura's like, well, what do you want me to do? Open the shed?
Can we get to the house?
You can try and run past alongside the fence. I'm gonna bring up the so basically you are now somewhere here and you're running, so basically you ran towards here, then you're running alongside the fence and towards your house.
Let's give it a try. If we can't reach the house, we can maybe try to leave the ground.
Okay, so you managed to get to the house. The patio door is open because you never closed it. You go inside and Anne-Laure slams the door.
I think when we step inside, Amelie would also have now her phone out with camera, just to see if that thing is still following. Probably not.
So basically you are now looking through the camera, through your... Yes.
Yeah.
You are seeing it.
Is it getting closer to the house?
No, it's actually walking towards the playground. It keeps walking towards the playground and then it vanishes.
So basically just poof.
It doesn't go poof, it just fades out. Like in the movies.
I think first of all, we all are just... I think Amelie will just plonk herself just to catch breath.
Yeah. So you catch your breath, and Anne-Laure is looking at the pictures. Celeste is now basically airdropping to her MacBook. And of this thing, she's like, what is this?
So on the pictures, we can still see it. It's not like...
It's there. It's very tall. You would say easily 3 meters. It's very tall, very gangly, very long arms, very well dressed, a pinstriped suit. Problem is it doesn't have a face. That's kind of creepy.
I think we have to... First, we need to send it basically to headquarters. See if
Eric?
the other one doesn't. Her name will never stick with me. What is it?
Micheline.
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 If they've seen anything like that, and Celeste Parallel, we go wild on the internet search.
I don't
and
need to
see if we
search.
find
I know what this is.
What?
And I also know it's not real.
Well, it's definitely real, so what is it?
She says, give me a second. And she Googles something and then she pulls up a page. It's called Creepypasta, and there's a picture of something called the Slender Man. She says, this is it. Only this is fake. This is a makey-uppy story about an urban legend called the Slender Man. It originated from Creepypasta, where people can basically post stories.
A lot of stories have some base. What does the story say?
Well, essentially, this guy came up with. There was this contest, like come up with an urban legend kind of thing, and he came up with this story of. He took a picture. Of a crowd of children running through kind of like a playground, foresty kind of picnic area. And it looked like they were running away. And he photoshopped this thing into it and made up this story that in the year so-and-so, 20 children vanished from a playground picnic area. And that this was kind of like found footage. Like, the whole Blair Witch thing? Where they also made up this found footage. So basically he turned this into a story with pictures, and he came up with this Slender Man thing.
Who is he?
I don't know who the author is. Let me Google it.
Because we might need to talk to him. Where his inspiration is coming from.
So she Googles who invented the Slender Man. His name is Eric Knudsen, also known as Victor Surge. And it was invented in 2009. It's an internet meme. And basically it went viral. Like everyone then started to make pictures of this guy. There was even a whole video series called Rocket Hornets? Something Hornets. It's on YouTube, and basically you can even find something on the BBC about where it originates from, because there were two girls that basically kidnapped a third girl and stabbed her because one of the other girls was delusional that the Slender Man was telling her these things. And basically, she shows you this is one of the pictures of the Slender Man, and this is basically the original picture, and then he photoshopped this thing into it, and that is the Slender Man. And from there it took off, and he basically made up this story about 14 young people, and the photographer had gone missing. Of course, this picture is real, but this part isn't. And there are so many pictures of what the Slender Man looks like here and here,
So, again, what do we find on information on it? We know it's not made up. It has a basis. Also, send it to headquarters. The question is...
I will, yes.
Do they know any kind of figure from other worlds?
Well, you see, the thing is that the idea of the Slender Man took a hold of the internet, really. And it was associated with children vanishing. People would go into the woods. There was even a movie made about it. It's an awful movie. I watched it. It's also terribly boring. I think it's on Amazon Prime. Anyway, you go into the forest and then the Slender Man takes the children. I mean, considering that everything we've seen here was happening at the playground. I mean, a playground is usually associated with children, so I would see where this is coming from. I'm just wondering
Is in the movies and the stories you read or heard any reason why or how to stop?
I'm just thinking, no, there was never a why and how to stop him. I mean, it didn't help if people started painting him, drawing him, talking about him. That would bring him on.
As I said, a lot of urban myths have a core, that is true. And if you say that talking and painting him makes him like stronger, then the internet did a very good job the last years and
make an
making it stronger and
intelligence
stronger.
check.
You said 2009, right?
Mm-hmm.
It started?
Yeah.
Oh, 444. That is a 15 with a 4 on the stunt die.
What things do you have in intelligence? Oh, well, actually, I have your character sheet right here.
Occult and evaluation. Evaluation will not help because it's evaluating things. Occult would be the only thing.
Do you know anything about fashion? Okay.
Well, the question is if it's about the suit he's wearing to get an idea from which age. I don't know fashion, but I know paintings. And people are painted in suits, so I would have an idea if it's more modern or if it's more like 60s, 80s,
It's
century-wise.
It's definitely 19th century.
Okay. Okay, I will call Eric to warn him that we will send him something and they need to start researching now.
Mm-hmm. You call the number and Eric says, bonjour.
Good morning. We need urgent research on a picture we will send you. All armed forces need to know. Everyone who's able to research need to research how to find this thing. We know how to find it, how to stop this thing, and how to get people back that they made vanish.
What? Who vanished? Celeste?
No, Leo is gone.
Leo is gone?
Leo vanished. He was taken by the Slender Man, as far as we know.
You do know that the Slender Man is an urban legend and not real?
We have evidence that they followed us and they took the... I wanted to say architect, the
real estate agent.
The real estate agent right in front of our eyes. We know where they are. We just don't know how to stop them. Or
what do you mean took her?
What? She just vanished right in front of us. The same way Leo vanished.
So are you saying that this Slender Man is A, real, and B, makes people vanish? Because that would explain where everybody else went.
Yes. So we are sending you a picture or a few pictures. We have them. We even have video. Could you please grab Michelin as well and other smart people we have, and they can try to research on what does the Slenderman want and how do we stop this, and maybe please how do we find the people he takes, because I hope they're still alive and just somewhere else and not all immediately dead.
Yes, I will get Micheline on it, but I'm not sure if the Slender Man is actually her area of expertise. It's an urban legend. It's not real. I mean,
Maybe she heard something from parallel worlds. We don't know. At the moment, we just need to get everyone together. We have Anne-Laure here. At least we have armed forces. we are also searching a parallel.
Maybe you should withdraw. Maybe being there is very unsafe. Maybe you should just get in your car, drive back to Paris, and do the research from here, and then go back when we know more.
We will stay here because we need to keep an eye on that. A, no one else gets sucked in, and B, we need to keep an eye on that thing. It seems to be sticking close to a playground. It didn't follow us into a house, so we seem to be fine here.
All right, whatever you say. Send me the stuff.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I will hang up and ask Celeste to send over the things to Eric and also Micheline. Just with please help and research and find out whatever. Also the question if they have any ideas of things of parallel worlds that can just like suck up alive things and put them somewhere.
Make another art roll for me.
Okay. That is a 12 is the question. It would be... Is it intelligence again?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 15.
Mm-hmm.
No stun die.
Okay. So this is your area of expertise, art. You've also taken courses in the visual arts, in the more modern visual arts, like photography, but also cinematography, that kind of thing. You've also played Life is Strange, where taking pictures is very important. And it's also something that people who haven't even studied art have heard of, that when the first photographers went to meet indigenous peoples and started taking pictures, there was this kind of maybe misconception that they felt that when you take a picture like this, you're taking away someone's soul.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if some of this is actually true? That taking one's likeness in this way actually does mean that some part of a person's essence is taken. And if this is the case, where does it go? Does it go onto the plate? Or does it go somewhere else?
Does not help, at least not for me. So the only thing Amelie would be sitting down now to research in paintings. When you said it's 19th century, so she would go through paintings 19th century and would also give Celeste the idea, look at stories, urban legends of the 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what we can find.
Okay, you do some research. Please give me a roll on...
Would it be investigation in this
Yes.
case? So that's 16, 19, 21 and a 5 on a stun die.
9, 12, 14, 16. Okay, so you did... how much did you get?
21 and a 5 on a stun die on top.
Mm-hmm.
If we
Okay,
need
so you get another 3 from her. So you're at 24 plus the stunt die. You come across something very interesting. You come across many things. You come across paintings of people that wear similar suits. So you can basically really pinpoint it in the 18th. It's in the 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
However, you also come across a YouTube channel called Pate, where they basically showcase old-time film footage. So you can find it on YouTube, going back in history and showing films. And you also see, and of course those films were like only a couple of minutes here, a couple of minutes there, so very, very short. And you also see the very first known piece of footage ever taken. It's taken in France in the 18th century, in the 19th century, and it is a group of people in the Champs-Élysées. So a lot of human beings walking around, and they're being filmed, and like it's grainy, and there's kind of like light flickering, and you see a man in a suit walking past with everybody else, and then suddenly stopping while everybody else keeps walking, and he turns and looks straight into the camera. He's wearing the same suit, but he is not as tall, and he does have a face. It's kind of grainy, but he does look completely human. And he looks into the camera, and you can see that he opens his mouth as if to scream, and then he suddenly vanishes. Also, the film ends almost immediately thereafter, so it could be, that maybe, everything kind of went blurry and he didn't really vanish. Maybe it was just because but it's a very startling piece of film.
Well, showing this clearly, or sharing that with Celeste, also with Unlore, even though I don't think that's Unlore's part of expertise.
I mean, at least the clothes are identical. So she basically she takes a still of the film and she holds the still of her camera next to it, and she's like, it's the same suit. It could be the same person.
It could be.
So what do you...
Well, what we can't stop is films being taken, generally. It happens. It's there. I don't think erasing this will help anyone, because there might be still a version somewhere.
Well, you can also see that basically underneath the YouTube video, you see that this is kind of like the original is held in an archive somewhere in France, of course, because this is like a historical document.
Yeah,
so it's
so we could maybe through connections get to it.
Yeah, probably the iTunes could remove it. Yes,
but there are so many versions now online. We'll never be able to get rid of it completely.
Especially since somebody may well have downloaded this from YouTube and stored it somewhere. It will be very it will be impossible to remove all of them. I agree with you. But I mean, if this is right, and if this, and she holds up her phone, is also true, then this whole Slender Man thing is not a hoax. It is real.
It took you that long? It was haunting us. That was not a hallucination.
No, but I mean, it's like the Slender Man is a hoax. This has been going on since 2009, and now it's publicly accepted that it's a hoax. And this Eric Knudsen guy even said he made it up.
Well, he probably heard somewhere, read somewhere a snippet, and made something out of it. That's how urban legends grow. I think a lot of them have a core that is true. which is a scary thought, and I'm trying not to go that rabbit hole downwards, because that's something else. I just have no idea what to do now. Because I still have no idea why. And where and how.
I'm more concerned that he's here. And what if the reason why he was focusing on the playground was because that's where the children were and that's where we were? But now that we're no longer there, what if he starts focusing on the house?
But
maybe he wants people. Yeah,
but we have been at the playground and we went back and nothing happened.
Because he got his victim?
No, we were there before, remember?
But maybe it was more like he began to realize we were there. Lydia is only here between...
And she did not enter the playground. She drove, she went to the house, and she left again because the rest is security guard thingy.
And they never go to the playground either. They just basically follow the streets.
Follow the streets. Also, it's the question why it's playground. And
children.
The urban... Well, they have the biggest imagination. Maybe it's easier for him to grab, reach through. Maybe they see him because they have the imagination that we all lose when we grow old.
And we only can see him through the lens of a camera, which is, of course, you know, like celluloid dreams. It's even a word. Now the question is, should we actually train a camera on the playground to see if he's coming, or should we not, because that's just attracting him?
Well, there are a lot of cameras on the playground.
Yeah, but they are...
They've been on the whole time.
We
should still have a peek and see, although we don't have to peek. Amelie will look outside through the closed window, phone up again, just having a look through the camera.
Night is now beginning to fall, so it's basically... You've spent a long time doing this. I mean, 2 hours to decode the encryption and so on and so forth. So it's now, I want to say, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And Law says, okay, so is the plan to wait for him here?
I still don't think he will go here.
So how about I go downstairs and I make us some supper, because I'm actually starving. And you can tell that you're... I mean, Celeste is hungry as well. I don't know about you, but Celeste definitely needs some food.
Well, the question is, Celeste, do you want to move your setup downstairs?
Yeah.
Because we need to get out quickly anyhow. If urgent, upstairs here is not a good place to be.
Mm-hmm. You go downstairs, you help her carry her stuff, you set up downstairs. And Law also suggests that you should basically get your blankets and everything to kind of like set up a little kind of like field camp so that you don't have to go upstairs to sleep, so that everybody can sleep in the same room just in case something happens. And then she proceeds to make supper. She starts cooking. And what do you do?
Amelie will download the video. Since it's YouTube.
Yeah.
She will get some video software on her phone to cut out just that piece that is interesting. Because I suspect the video is much longer. It's not just a snippet.
The video is about...
It's a mix of
3
different
minutes
things,
or so. Yeah.
And she will use the video program to basically have it playing it from the back to the front, so vice versa.
So yeah. So
because
you
it doesn't
want to
have
reverse.
sound,
So
so it's-
basically, his movement is reversed. That's what. You're
Yeah,
trying
so
to do,
he would, instead of vanishing, he would just
Yeah.
appear out of thin
Yeah.
air,
And then
look
basically
at the camera, go
and then-
backwards, turn
yeah,
around, and
yeah.
something like that.
Okay, you can do this, no problem. So what is your thought behind it?
It's a question how we reverse this.
Oh.
Because that's the only idea Amelie has. We can't delete all the content about him. Or them, rather say. Although it's the man, so him probably is okay. We can't make this for... Especially a lot of people have read about this. The stories in the head of people. You can't delete all of this. This is impossible. World Wide Web also impossible.
Make a note that you're going to get a re-roll on a roll of your choice.
Okay.
Because that is really inspired.
I think that's the only thing Amelie is like... If we make it through the night, which I suspect we do, one idea, we go shopping. We need a beamer, and we need a Leinwand. I don't know what's in English. Screen. And let's see what happens if we play this video. And we play it reverse. It can't get worse. Just to see if it's the right thing we found and if it has any effect.
So you tell this to Celeste?
Yeah, and Anne-Laure can clearly, I will share it with both of them.
So Anne-Laure has now finished her cooking. It's going to be
because
pasta.
I highly suspect Celeste doesn't have a screen and a beamer. Maybe, probably not.
Because that's actually still not so inexpensive. But you Google and you do find a camera and kind of like film equipment. Also, it's one of those old-time shops that also does your development for you. If you still do the old-fashioned way of doing your photographs, you can hand over the film rolls and they will develop them for you. And they have all kinds of film equipment, both for lease, but also for sale, and also second hand. And they also do a selling and buying. But
that's not film equipment. That is
he's got
standard
everything.
tech stuff you would get in a store where you can buy phones, PCs, and other things as well.
Yeah, and he sells that. Do you want to go there?
Well, whatever we can find that is closest by.
Yeah, it's in town.
That would be the next stop.
And it opens at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, then that's the goal, to survive until that. Except headquarters can send us something quicker, I'm not sure.
Well, they do. Micheline gives you a ring and she's like, well, you two crazy chicks, what are you up to again? What is this thing, the Slender Man?
You sent us here, so, well.
I did, didn't I? But I didn't know that this was going to happen. I expected something entirely different. You two are very entertaining. I wonder, is it just bad luck that follows you? Or do you just, I don't know, suck it in?
Well, Leo is the one who has the bad luck. Because he vanished.
That is, but I've got good news for you. I believe that he may still be alive.
That would be lovely. Do you have an idea how we can get to him?
Well, the easiest would be to go to where he is and then get him, and then see if there's any way to bring him back.
But then we are stuck with all the other people and that's it.
You're always being so negative.
Well, it's not that Leo is stupid and he will just be sitting duck. He will set everything in motion to find his way back.
Yeah, but what if he can't? Maybe it takes group work or something.
But there are a lot of other people there.
If I get it right, it's mostly children.
Well, we know of other people that disappeared on the slot. They were not children.
Yeah, I cannot tell you because I don't know what it's like where he has gone to.
We found also something.
Well, then tell me.
You know what YouTube is?
Yeah, I've got a channel.
We have to talk about this afterwards. Then open Google and type in, and I will tell her the name of the short old video.
You hear typing in the background, then you hear like she bursts one of her gum bubbles again. Yeah, I'm watching it. Wow, is that him?
The suit looks at least the same.
He's a lot less tall, but yeah.
It's a question what time and space does to someone.
I would say, it's pretty close.
Our idea is tomorrow morning to get equipment, beamer, screen, and show the video to him.
To him?
Yes.
And how are you going to do that? How are you going to make sure that he's there?
Well, I'm quite sure as soon as we show up, he will be there again. Because he's collecting people. Maybe he's just lonely. Best case. Worst case, well, if we are gone, you know where to find us, because the equipment will be still standing there on the lawn.
All right, I'll make a note.
We will show it in reverse, just to see what happens.
That is a very smart move.
Well, we will see. If we're gone, maybe just bomb the place. And make sure no one ever is able to live there again. Or enclose it and shut it down that no one can access it again.
I'll see what I can do. I mean, I'm not sure if bombing is actually a possibility, but yeah.
Closing it down, high risk.
Try not to get lost and try to solve this issue.
It's fenced in quite safely anyhow, so it's easy at least to bring it into lockdown.
Yeah, I would prefer if you actually came back.
The real estate lady is not there anymore, so yeah.
What?
Well, she was sucked in, just like Leo. We had to make a sacrifice. It was her or us.
She clicks her tongue and she's like, "You're a lot more evil than I gave you credit for. I like
it's not
it."
Evil. I'm surviving. We all are.
Okay, whatever you tell yourself at night, dear. I'll be in touch. And she hangs up.
I'm at least like, you would have done the same. She will not say that, but she will clearly think that. Mishla is
Mishli would have done the same.
She is a total survivor. She would have pushed
blinking.
And would have taken her feet in the hands and be running off as well. Exactly what we did.
Yeah. So basically, you do you set up watches?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Which order do you want to watch in, and how are you going to watch?
Amelie doesn't really care when it's her turn. I don't think any one of us will really sleep anyhow, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe except for Anne-Laure, who knows how to sleep under pressure, you assume?
Yeah, maybe that. So we will all camp and sleep definitely downstairs in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, watching is through camera. Mm-hmm. And A, camera feed on the laptop, and B, mobile phone.
Mm-hmm.
Or one of, I think Celeste had extra camera equipment with her, right? So one of the cameras would do the job, basically. Mm-hmm. To have it staring through the window towards the playground.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you lock the door, the front door? And the windows?
Yeah, we would lock everything just to be safe and sound.
Mm-hmm. What you do notice is 9 o'clock comes around, so 2100 hours, and on the dot, the security detail is driving in, basically doing their rounds, probably or possibly, you hope, punching in the clocks, and then driving off again, and they do this on an hourly basis. So let's just say 1 to 2 is you. 3 and 4 is Celeste, 5 and 6 is Anne-Laure, and we're gonna see who's gonna take which watch. So 1 to 2, so you're first because I rolled a 2.
I think then we would give Anne-Laure the last one that she at least can get a sleep.
Okay, so then
Decent.
next up is Celeste and then Anne-Laure is last. Okay.
If Celeste is fine with that, because Amelie is quite sure she will not sleep.
Okay, so basically you take the first watch. And Celeste is basically lying down. Anne-Laure actually manages to go to sleep pretty quickly. So she's probably somebody who's used to sleeping in all kinds of situations. Celeste is basically, I mean, it's still early when you start your own watch. So she's basically still like, you know, playing around with her computer, maybe doing research. But after a while, she just basically also closes her eyes and puts down the computer first, closes her eyes. You keep looking at the camera.
Although the computer she can't use if we want to look at the feed live.
Well, then she's not using it. Yeah.
So I
she's
think we would have a
phone
setup.
To
I think we would have the set, or she has 2 laptops. You never know. But we would have the camera facing the window, and right next to it on a table we would have the setup where the laptop is with the live feed.
She's also plugging in her phone so that it gets charged.
That will be something where Amelie is like, that is a good idea. She will grab her phone charger and will put the phone.
And do you switch off the light or do you leave the light on?
I think we would have a lamp in the corner on that gives a little bit of light, but the bright light we would turn off.
Okay. So basically you are looking at the feed, and then after about 3 hours or so you wake up Celeste and you switch.
Yeah.
And Celeste keeps watch. And
I will go in the kitchen, make some tea. No, probably coffee.
Do you go to sleep, or do you try to go to sleep, or do you just okay?
I'll probably keep Celeste company. We will here and there talk quietly.
What do you want to talk about?
I think Amelie would pick something that has nothing to do with why we are here. Maybe talking again about the idea to go to a concert together and when would be a good choice. And just picking random things.
Yeah. Okay, so you basically talk about going to Les Enterres Vivants. Going backstage.
Maybe talking about going to the cinema, asking her which new books came in. So anything that is relaxing.
Okay. And you are talking, but you're also looking at the feed. And sure enough, there he is. But the problem is he suddenly appears right in front of the camera.
Which camera?
The camera in the playground. And like he's this close so that you can only see his non-face, but you're pretty sure it's him. Then the camera feed that you're looking at glitches. Everything goes dark.
I think the moment we see him, Amelie would yell for Anne-Laure to wake up.
Anne-Laure is woken instantaneously. She hasn't taken off her clothes at all. She is still fully armed. She sits up and she's like, what? Then everything goes dark, and it's almost like when you turn around to look at her, it's almost like she is a video herself and she's glitching. And you look at Celeste and she looks like she's a video herself and she's glitching.
I will grab Celeste because she's next to me.
You grab Celeste and Celeste is like, you're completely out of focus.
You too. We are all
Then everything goes black.
Do I have the chance as a reaction? Although it's a question if we need a reaction to grab the phone.
You can. Yeah.
So she would just instinctively
because I assume
grab.
you would have charged, but you would have left it to charge, but you would have left it to charge close to you, because I mean the phone is one way of even getting in touch with Leo wherever he is.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely no problem. And you glitch.
I will hold on to Celeste in
Celeste
hopes
glitches.
that I can hold on to her.
And Laure glitches, and then everything goes black, as if you're in a cinema hall and the lights have gone out because they're completely dark.
Focusing on feeling, do I still feel Celeste?
Absolutely, you feel Celeste. And then light comes on again, and you're old enough to have experienced this probably. In the olden days, and possibly even today, although I haven't seen it recently, if somebody got up in the cinema while this film was being shown, it would be projected onto them.
Yeah.
So do you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And
that's the people you would yell at, like, duck!
Yeah. And you are looking at Celeste, you're holding onto her hand, and you see this kind of like this flickering because something is being projected onto her. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And behind her, to her left, basically as you're looking at her, to the left of her, as you're facing her, you see Anne-Laure, let's say about 3 paces standing behind her. She's also being projected on, and what you are seeing being projected onto them is a movie with several cowboys with drawn colts riding. It's like an old-time western. It's like sepia colored. It's almost yellowish. The problem is the bullets that they're firing seem to be live rounds because they're actually hitting the wall. What do you do?
First of all, trying to yell and call out
that's
for
not
Celeste
something you have to try to do. You can. You yell.
Anne-Laure and see if they hear and react.
They do. And they also, and Anne-Laure not so much, but Celeste actually shakes because there's a bullet that actually hits her, not her, but hits behind her. And you also hear the noise, and it's in 3D. You know, it's in basically, 3D, it's in stereo. You can hear, like, this is Dolby Surround, you can hear the people riding. It's almost like they are in the middle you are in the middle of them being ridden down by them. You can hear the bullets, you can see the bullets shatter the wall behind where Anne-Laure is standing, and you can hear the bullets, and it's like there is bullets left, right, and center. What do you do?
Amelie's instinct, first of all, holding on to Celeste, yelling, don't let go, but duck. So heads down, and Amelie would try to get towards Anne-Laure.
Dex.
And pull Celeste with
10,
her.
14, okay, so Celeste rolls a 14, she is fine.
That is 15 Dex.
You're fine.
Amelie.
Okay, so 13 would have been challenging. I would have been looking for 13 plus, but 13 would have had an...
and a 5 on the stunt die.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so you're fine. Anne-Laure, of course, with her very high reflexes, she's also ducked, but she's also whipped out her Glock.
I think first question is, can we make it towards Anne-Laure that we are
you
next
could crawl on your belly if you wanted to. Yes,
that would be
and she's
the goal.
she's also crawling towards you, but she's actually now turning around and basically is now on her back with her pistol being held like in combat grip, like so, and she says stay down, and she starts firing towards those imaginary people.
It will not help, Anne-Laure. Keep your ammunition.
Actually, it does, because she hits, and one of these people that are being projected now onto the wall, because Celeste and Anne-Laure are no longer standing before the wall, actually falls off his horse, clutching his chest. And the horse keeps running, but he's basically just lying there on the ground.
You don't know who you shot now and who died because of you?
We can talk about this later. They are actually, and bang, there's another shot ringing out. There's another shot. And she says, what do you want me to do? Just basically take it lying down.
Looking around, you say there's a wall.
Yeah, it's a brick wall.
Is there any kind of end to the wall, or...
Yes, you're in a room.
Door?
Yes, there's a door. And do you want to look around more?
Yes.
Okay, so basically there is now... So now, basically this group of people, it's like possibly 8, 9 or 10 have now ridden past you. So the noise is fading. So are the bullets. You look around and you are in a nondescript, it's almost like a warehouse type building with red brick walls. I don't know, maybe 50 square meters. It's actually quite big. It's almost completely empty. There's a concrete floor that you are now lying on. It's very cold and very dirty as well. There is a door to the right. It's one of those really heavy metal doors, you know, that you would see like in a garage maybe. It's got a musty smell, and towards one side there is a set of shelves, and on it are film rolls, like these canisters, these old-fashioned canisters where they would have the big film scrolls. Old time
We
movies.
also see basically a hole or anything where the film was projected through.
Yes, because you can see the light. You can see where the projector is standing. But now it's only showing light.
Yeah, Anne-Laure, shoot there. Just pointing for Anne-Laure to shoot the projector.
She misses. She hits the wall. She misses. Yeah. Try this one more time, but then I have to...
Well, we can... Especially, we can stand up now. We are not being shot at anymore. So
interesting enough, it's now at this stage where the projection has ended and now only the projector is running. There's nothing being projected now. Yeah.
Take your time. Amelie will pull out a phone just to be curious if we have reception.
She shoots and misses again. She's like, I'm not gonna save. I'm not gonna waste any more bullets on this. Reception, you said. You how do you want to check? So you basically just look at your phone?
Yeah, you can see if you have signal.
Yeah, okay, so this is you're not trying to dial a number, you're just looking at it.
At the moment, just looking at if there is...
No, but for some reason the internal camera that's facing you is on and you see your own face.
Turning the camera off.
It turns itself on again.
Turning the phone off.
You turn off the phone.
I will look at the black screen and see if it turns back on.
No, doesn't.
So it's off. I will turn it on again in hopes that it starts
You're
again.
looking at your beautiful face.
I will swipe the camera away and will look for Leo's phone number and we'll try to call him. To see if magically it works, because we should be...
You dial. You get a dial tone. And then you hear a voice saying, Citizens Registration Bureau, how can I help you?
just a second. I will turn on speaker. Could you repeat again? I might have misdialed.
Citizens Registration Bureau. How can I help you?
Of which city?
Why? Do you not know?
Well, the question is, do you know? Because we are not sure where we are.
It's Silver Screen.
Well, we are looking for a friend. He's called Leo. Can you tell us where he is?
What is his last name?
Monte.
1 moment, please. Oh yes, Mr. Monte, and this person is actually speaking English. Mr. Monte joined, well, he registered 6 weeks ago.
Well, thank you for your help, and I will just hang up.
And Law looks at you completely puzzled. What was that? And who did you call?
I tried to call Leo. And I ended there. Silver Screen. He registered 6 weeks ago, which means time here goes differently than where we are. Actually, where we should be. Also, how high up is the camera that's basically the beamer?
Maybe 2 meters. You could reach it. I mean, Anne Law could reach it. If she stood on her toes.
And Laura, instead of shooting, let's try brute force. Let me help you get up there.
You want me to kill it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Destroy.
She basically goes towards the wall, and the camera
also, Celeste, you should stick with us as well. We don't know what happened.
Celeste follows. Basically, it's like this projection chamber, so it's kind of like this wide. It's maybe 30 by 20, so it's, and she can just stick her hand in, and she basically takes the her gun by the barrel and pounds the actual camera lens with the butt of the gun.
Yeah.
She basically shatters. And the light goes out because she kills the bulb.
Yeah. Is there anything else that happens?
No, it's just very dark now.
Well, phone has a flashlight, so that on. Very visibly seeing that the light is on, that the camera is still going. I suspect that I can't really turn it off. The question is, I will try to flip the camera to not go on me, but what I see, does it flip back?
It flips back to you. It flips back to the internal camera. Yeah.
She will look at the camera and she will be just like, that is quite rude what you are doing. We are trying to help you and you are not helping us in any way. Should be quite ashamed of yourself.
Alon's kind of completely puzzled. Who are you talking to?
Whoever is controlling the camera, and I suspect it's the sir that we saw on Champs-Élysées in the video. So we know what happened to you. It would be really nice to cooperate and make it better for all of us.
So what do we do now?
Go through the door.
Go towards the door.
Yeah.
Who opens it?
I think if Celeste doesn't, although I suspect Anne-Laure will be the one, let me do it, security reasons.
Actually, Anne-Laure says, I'm gonna train my gun on the door and one of you opens it really quickly and stands aside, okay?
Okay, I will open.
So she basically takes combat stance again, pointing her weapon at the door. And Celeste, what is your dex?
2.
Okay, so then you will do it because hers is 1. You roll.
Also, my phone is now in my pocket, so at least it can't see anything.
Okay, so you basically
And
roll.
I basically 1, 2, and see if it opens at all. Might be locked.
Yeah. Roll a die. Roll your decks.
15.
Oh, very good. You turn the handle, you really yank the door open. Celeste is standing away to one side, so next to the door on the other side, and Laura is standing there looking, and you see light flooding in, but it's kind of like hazy light. It's probably it's not very bright. It's probably the moon. And she says, and she shoots and she says, "Close the door."
Did I see anything?
No, because you actually did this. You saw maybe some movement, but that's all.
I will close the door. I will follow her instruction and just smash it. Closed again.
All right. I think this is going to be interesting because if I'm not mistaken, that was a werewolf. I saw a black and white projection of a werewolf.
Okay.
So what is this? Kind of like vintage cinema central?
Seems like it. We can wait. This video passed as well. Maybe this is passing as well.
Yeah, we just have to wait for the sun to come up. As far as I can recall, all of those old movies, werewolves die or vanish when the sun comes up. We'll just have to wait. And seeing that time moves quite quickly, it shouldn't take too long either.
I will dial the phone number again. I will again try to call.
Citizens Registration Bureau, hello.
Me again. Hi.
Hi.
I got disconnected. I was asking for my friend Leo Monte. I know he registered 6 weeks ago. Where can we find him?
Oh, Citizen Leo. He has been assigned to the. Why? He's in the archives.
Is there a number I can call or a map to show me how to get there?
Every registered citizen has a map already. Are you not registered, madam?
I have been.
Well, then you would have been given a map.
But
what is your name, dear?
She will give the name Lydia Bonneau. Maybe my phone is broken, not sure.
Oh yes, you registered 4 weeks ago, but I gave you a map. I recall you. How come you don't? And why are you ringing me at this hour? You should be working. You're in the soup kitchen. It's awfully quiet at your end. Are you skipping work? Let me handle this. Hold the line, please.
I will hang up again. And we'll turn off the phone.
At that moment, just a couple of minutes later, you hear the tramping of footprints, like people in boots. Outside the door.
Outside the door we opened.
And then you hear and rattling, guards, guards, guards. Open up. We're looking for Lydia Bonneau, citizen Lydia Bonneau.
Lydia's not here. She
Identify yourselves.
You will not know us.
It is illegal to not cooperate with the guards. Open the door.
Amelie will just like she will just open the door just a tad bit. We just want to make sure the werewolves are not getting to us. Did you turn them off?
In front of you, you see 3 ranks deep, 4 to each rank, playing cards about 170 tall. They all have a heart, and they all have a spear, and they're all talking in one voice in unison. Gods, gods, gods.
Lydia's at the soup kitchen. If you're looking for her, we know she's there.
Identify yourself.
Just, do we have a last name for Micheline?
Yeah, we do. Serton. S-E-R-T-O-N.
Micheline Serton. I don't think you have me in the system yet. We just arrived.
You are late for your registration.
We did not get any information about how to register.
You are late for your registration.
What do we do to register?
You follow us to the Citizens Registration Bureau.
Looking over to the girls.
And Laura has kind of like this constant question mark pasted on her face.
But being stuck in this room is not a good option.
Gods, gods, gods.
Well, we will follow you. Just go ahead. We will follow.
So basically the ranks open and they ask you to, or well, wordlessly, they ask you to join them in the middle, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. We will be in the middle. Amelie will try something, maybe stupid enough, but while we walk, she will suddenly stop to bend down, like binding her shoe, and she would just see if she can, like, a little bit shove a card and see how flimsy or not flimsy it is, because a piece of paper doesn't sound very strong.
Well, the first thing that happens...
But she wants to fake it more like an accident. Like, oh, sorry, I'm bending down.
As you stop, the cards that are in the ranks behind you walk into you.
Yeah, that's her idea. Because and then she has a feeling how... Does it feel like human runs into you? Or is it more like, oh, piece of paper goes against
It's a very strange feeling. Because what you realize is that these are also projections. So they are somehow corporeal because the bullets were as well, but they're also like light in a way because they are very warm. So imagine light particles, but they have, well, I mean, I guess light does have mass, but I mean, they have enough mass to seem kind of solid to you. But it's almost like dry water. So they kind of semi-wash over you, but not quite. Does that make sense? Gods,
yeah, my brain is just still...
Don't stop, don't stop, don't
my
stop.
shoelace is open. Do you want to tie it?
Tie the non-citizen's shoelaces for her, and one of the cards basically bends down and ties your shoelaces.
Amelie's very tempted to do something she will not.
Go on!
No.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, fighting these things is so the way we are walking, we have
you're actually marching. You're being marched. It's like that.
But where are we walking? Is it like from room to room?
Or, no, now you're outside. But it's no longer night, so there's no full moon. It's now sun.
Is it really outside and not a room?
It seems to be the outside, but then again, it's like a set that you would see in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was all shot indoors, but they made it look, well, I mean, the cemetery scenes were shot indoors, but it looked like it was the outdoors. So as you're looking closely, this looks like a film set.
Then Amelie hesitantly will lower her foot and will wait for her shoe to be tied, and then we will walk on.
So you're being marched, and again, every so often they say, guards, guards, guards.
You know, that's highly annoying, right? We know you're the guards. You don't have to repeat that. Also, where did you leave Alice and the Queen?
This doesn't compute. They keep marching and they keep repeating, guards, guards, guards.
That's clearly a programming mistake. Or they copied a scene where it's just over and over repeating.
Maybe.
So whoever set this up is not very good at this video thing.
So you keep saying this aloud?
Yeah.
It's like, shh, don't annoy them.
I don't think we can annoy them.
At some point, you notice that the marching is getting slower and you are approaching something that is clearly a film set. Remember when you went to those kind of like Western towns, those film sets where it's basically just the facade and there's nothing behind it? And it says Citizens Registration Bureau.
Well, thank you, sirs.
Then basically the first rank parts and they let you pass through, but they make sure that you actually cannot get to the left or right. So they basically stand next to the door, and basically it's like a funnel that they're building for you that you have to march through the door. Do you go through the door?
Just looking at the time, if we want to use this as cliffhanger.
Yeah, this is, I was going to do this.
Also, if the viewers might be angry, I would leave it open if we go through or not.
Okay, so then we shall leave it here, outside the Citizens Registration Bureau, surrounded by guards that look like cards. Thank you very much for playing. Thanks very much for watching and supporting our channel, and talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.